Well, good afternoon, floorball fans of the NAFL. Welcome to another match from our third week of play in the 2024 NAFL season. Live from the Duluth Entertainment Convention Center Arena in downtown Duluth, Minnesota. It's the Minnesota Growlers versus the Fort Worth Jaguars. Floorball fans, this is set to be an intense match. This has been our most competitive season for the playoffs yet in league history, and today is going to be no exception. The Fort Worth Jaguars still chasing a playoff spot. They can clinch today if they come away with a win here against the Minnesota Growlers. The Growlers coming away with a clinched playoff berth after Texas defeated the Ohio Aviators this morning in a third-period thriller. Fort Worth coming out to a quick start. Rupa Heikkilä shot attempt deflected. Tuukka Korhonen now for the Growlers. Chipped away by Borglund and Spinoor, but Korhonen still driving with the ball. He'll lose some control. Still trying to get there using the boards to keep him upright. He's got support there from Letanimi. Finally, it's going to be a free hit call for the Jaguars. Already an intense start to this matchup. The last time these two teams met, Fort Worth came away with a critical win during our second week of play in Clarksville, Tennessee. Minnesota now coming out. A win today would help them so greatly to try and win a second seed position over the Texas 39ers, who after a three-game losing streak have put themselves back into playoff form. But the Growlers have looked phenomenal in this third week of play so far, especially with the added talent of Jonas Donskoy, the former hockey star, turned now floorballer for the Minnesota club. Hit in here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Substitutions coming out here for Fort Worth. Landon Van Patten set to take it. He passes Lundblad to Stussy. Back down to Lundblad. Lander Stussy going far side with Samuels. Taking his time, looking for a route, and a man to pass to. He'll draw Lettinen in. Pass to Lundblad, working with Van Patten on the close wing. Far side to Arvid Samuels. Now Arvid Forneheim working with Lundblad. He'll come into the center and pass back to Lundblad. Off the boards, trying to find Forneheim. Salagang is able to chip the ball. He'll send it up and over. It'll be a hit in here. Substitutions out for both teams. Jonas Donskoy on the court here for the Growlers. He came up big yesterday with a beautiful spinning goal against the Fresno Force. Close side, Spinoor. He'll spin around to create space with Fuchter. Far side, Rupa Heikkilä. Spinoor shot attempt goes off the body of Rantala. Another attempt by Borglund sailing wide. It's Janols, close wing. Trying to get a pass off, deflected off the body of Etu Vanjonpa. Janols still with possession, sends it out to Heikkilä on the wing. Cross court, Spinoor just saved by Pasi Arvinen. The ball sailing around the board. Spinoor cross court. Trying to find Heikkilä. It's chipped away by Donskoy. Vanjonpa sending the ball into open waters. Marcus Lane able to get there before Philip Borglund. Vanjonpa chipping it off the boards. It goes over. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit in. Just over 2 minutes have passed so far in this first period. Still scoreless, but a lot of energy here from both squads. Fort Worth and Minnesota, two of the best teams in the league when it comes to passing-based offenses. Now, previously, the Jaguars featured mainly finish lines, and so they were very defensive with the ball. They used a deep passing approach, similar to what we see from Minnesota in this season, but just with less aggression. They've still preserved that despite bringing in mainly Swedish talent now over the offseason to compensate for the loss of those Finnish players. Of course, the Minnesota Growlers have a lot of returning talent, but they've still bolstered their roster over the offseason, yet every single line maintains the same kind of cross-court passing, favored, aggressive offensive approach. Van Patten now able to field the pass around Bjernen, and he sends a shot over. Looks like it's deflected off the stick of Tuukka Korhonen, and it's going to be a hit in here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Janols and Heikkilä set to take the ball here for Fort Worth. Rupa Heikkilä sends it out to the point. Zernestam to Spinoor. In the center, looking for Janols. The sweep saved by Pasi Arvinen. It's impressive how that ball was able to get around all of the Jaguars defenders. And off of Rupa Heikkilä pushing the goalkeeper, Pasi Arvinen, it's going to be a free hit here for the Minnesota Growlers. Julius Salakangas coming towards the front of his crease. Back to Yeepa Roila. Heikkila on the press, gives Salakangas the angle on the spin. Cross-court pass, finds Hiltonen. He was looking for Lettinen inside the box, but the steal by Fort Worth. Salakangas not giving up the pursuit just yet. He's going to stay on Spinord on the far side of the goal. Alexander Spinord sends it down deep to Heikkila, but the chip goes right. Bossi Arvinen able to recover. No shots on goal yet for the Minnesota squad. Fort Worth has been the team coming out with the passing momentum so far this first period. Far side, that's Vanjonpa. He'll come down to Valtteri Rantala with some space to Fuchter. Looking across to Donskoy. It's chipped off the leg of Stussy. Lundblad facing pressure from Donskoy. Fornaheim driving down far wing off the boards to Van Patten. He needs a man to pass to. Facing pressure from Vanjonpa. He can't break away just yet. He sends it into the open waters. Jonas Donskoy in a 3-on-1 gets the pass out to Tom Fuchter. It'll stay in bounds off the leg of Lundblad. Fuchter needing support, spinning around, trying to get around Lundblad. He gets it to Etu Vanjonpa. Marcus Lane, close wing off the boards, finds Valtteri Rantala. Shot attempt off the legs of Landon Van Patten. Rolling into Minnesota territory, Arvid Fornaheim on the backboards. Gets it to Samuels. Chipped away by Vanjonpa. Fuchter unable to get the angle around Lander Stussy. Arvid Samuels once more with the ball on the wing. He'll take the shot attempt. Not powerful enough. It goes off the feet there of Marcus Lane, number 42. He'll pass it off to Tuukka Korhonen as a new line comes out here for both teams. Meyer Marthaler, close wing, working with Korhonen. He'll halt around center. Björninen coming up for support. Björninen goes back down to Marthaler. Back to Björninen now at the point. He's got Korhonen in center for support. Björninen able to drive down deep. Letinimi unable to field the pass, however, Roopa Heikkila now in center lane on the counter for the Jaguars. It's chipped away. Seemed the entirety of Minnesota's team was all surrounding Roopa Heikkila there, able to come away with the steal. Meyer Marthaler with the pass over to Korhonen. Far side, Letinimi unable to get the angle around Heikkila. The steal successful. Spinord shot is good! The crowd goes wild as the Fort Worth Jaguars, the first team on the board. Heikkila spined that passing lane, was able to come away with the steal. And at the point, it was Alexander Spinord waiting, poised, ready for the kill shot. And after that, Spinord goal from center lane, 14:33 remaining in the first period. Your score, it's Minnesota Growlers 0, Fort Worth Jaguars 1. And after that goal, referee Yanni Shorin called over number 51, Roopa Heikkila, for a discussion. Heikkila certainly an aggressive player, and the referees, knowing this match, given the playoff implications, has the potential to be intense between the two squads, likely trying to subvert any possibility of tension on the court. Samuels trying to get the angle around Salakangas, but Salakangas able to get his stick there at the last second to stop the shot attempt. Salakangas now far wing. Behind himself to Auroila. Close wing, Hiltonen. Back to Auroila. Salakangas back to Auroila. Down to Hiltonen. Driving down, will pass Lettinen. Back out to Auroila. Lettinen once more. The cross-court look to Tita Salakangas. Sailing wide, he's still trying to come away with it. He gets the pass to Hiltonen, shipped away by Lundblad, still to Auroila. But now Arvid Fornaheim through the legs of Salakangas. Järvinen to beat. Järvinen, what a save. Salakangas to break the ball out of the box. Now on the counter for Minnesota. To Lettinen, close wing. Cross-court, Tita Salakangas on the counter-attack with the equalizing goal. What an intense series, Floorball fans. It doesn't get better than this. It was off the failed Arvid Fornaheim drive. Järvinen with that critical save. Julius Salakangas was able to work with Lettinen. The pass far side to Tita Salakangas. He was able to put it away, and now it's a tie ball game after just 1 minute of play after the Fort Worth goal. And now 13 and a half minutes remaining. And off of the Tita Salakangas goal, it's Growlers 1, Fort Worth Jaguars 1. Far side, Donskoy getting the runaround there from Chernistan. Donskoy, Vanyonpa to Lane. Back to Vanyonpa, cross court, Valtteri Rantala off the boards to Lane. Taking his time in center lane. Borglund and Heikkila coming up to press, but Valtteri Rantala with some space. The steal by Spinord. Down deep to Heikkila. A save by Pasi Arvinen again on the rebound. He's got support now from Marcus Lane. Borglund with the ball for Fort Worth. Gets it to Spinord, center lane. Shot attempt deflected off the body of Jonas Donskoy. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit in. Heikkila on the wing, moving through traffic. He was able to beat three defenders, but a shot wide right. Still with the ball, Heikkila staying with it. He'll pass out to Alexander Spinord. Close side, Chernistan to Jenols. Back to Chernistan. Spinord to Heikkila. His shot attempt from deep, able to convert. The Fort Worth Jaguars with another response. It was Heikkila on the wing. He sent it in from deep. Looks like it may have been chipped off the stick there of Philip Borglund. Either way, 12 minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in the first period. Your score now, Minnesota Growlers 1, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. And it's Philip Borglund officially credited with that goal for the Fort Worth Jaguars off the assist from Roope Heikkila. But now Minnesota coming out with some more aggression here, trying to catch up. This is set to be a back and forth match all day between these two teams who know how to score. The Jaguars coming out of yesterday and a loss to the Ohio Aviators. They're hungry for a win today. Meanwhile, the Growlers looking to continue their success. They're also coming out of a loss yesterday to the Fresno Force. Still, they have a playoff spot clinched. Now, every game till the end of the regular season is a matter of getting a better seed for the playoffs and preparing themselves for what they'll face and what's set to be our most contested Troy Cup playoff series yet. Cross-court pass finds Spinor. In the center, Borglund. Spinor trying to send it down the line. He'll go cross-court, deflected by Bjerninen. Eteletanimi to Juuso-Lehtiniemi. Jenols pressuring him hard in the corner. Unable to break his stick around, but still Fort Worth able to maintain possession. Now Juuso-Lehtiniemi with the steal, but he'll lose control of it. Philip Borglund with it again. It goes to Heikkila, far side. Through the legs of Juuso-Lehtiniemi, force him to lose the stick as well. Now Tita Salakangas chip pass broken up by Borglund to Jenols. But Juuso-Lehtiniemi a little slow to get up there. The referee blowing the whistle for a free hit to the Minnesota Growlers. Now it'll be Julius Salakangas on the court, ready to take the hit. He'll come to Tuukka Hiltunen in center, J-Pau Roila. Down to Hiltunen, back to Auroila. Hiltunen at half court. Behind himself to Tita Salakangas. He'll find Lehtinen. Lehtinen with a little bit of bounce to the ball. Still able to drive down towards the goal. He'll come behind it. He finds Hiltunen, who finds the net. Minnesota equalizing once more off a Tuukka Hiltunen goal. It looked for a second like Lehtinen didn't have an outlet, but he was able to get the angle around Leander Stussy and pass the ball off to Tuukka Hiltunen. Thanks to the Hiltunen goal, it's now a tie ball game once more. 10:52 remaining in the first period. Your score, Minnesota Growlers 2, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. As we said before, this matchup looking to be Really a series of back and forth goals here. We're anticipating this being a close one. Neither team going to come away with a runaway. Heikkilä to the ground, free hit to the Jaguars. The crowd clapping here for the Fort Worth Jaguars as they get ready to take this free hit. Janols and Schernestam. Janols to Spenord on the wing. It's where he loves to shoot from. Instead, he's going to pass cross court, finds Heikkilä. Donskoy coming up a little bit here for the Growlers defense. He'll meet Heikkilä in center wing and now release back off to the zone. Nearly breaking up that pass there. It's Rovinen, but Donskoy there for support. Heikkilä unable to get it around. Valtteri Rantala. Spin back around. Chipped away in center. Janols shot just high over the goal. Hit in here for Minnesota. Letanimi. The pass to Mile Mothaler. With a fake pass, he goes back to Tuukka Korhonen. Close side, Korhonen. Back out to Mothaler. Off the boards, Etelätanimi wasn't expecting it, still able to field it. The pass behind himself to his brother Juuso. That ball chipped out of bounds by Samuels. With 10 minutes remaining in the first period, it'll be a Minnesota ball, still a tie game here, live from Duluth, Minnesota. In the Growlers' home state, they're looking to come up big today as they try to cement their playoff form in hopes of winning the Troy Cup this season. Harvard Fortenheim coming in the center lane. A win today for Fort Worth would mean eliminating Ohio from the playoffs and locking themselves into a playoff berth. That would mean the games tomorrow dictate seeds, not who's in the playoffs. However, Minnesota's not looking to make that job easy for Fort Worth. And if Fort Worth loses today, the Ohio Aviators can still stay in playoff contention if they win tomorrow and the Fort Worth Jaguars lose. Pasi Arvinen resetting his goal as his man Julius Alakangas set to take the ball here for the Growlers. Go past Al Roila. Al Roila taking his time here for the Minnesota team. We go far side, Salakangas. Off the boards to Hiltunen. Tita Salakangas now. Shot attempt deflected off the stick of Spenor. Philip Borglund unable to get the pass off. It'll be bounced back, finds Janols. Elmari Lehtinen going to release here for the Minnesota defense. Spenor on the close wing. Back across, Schernestam. Salakangas coming up to meet him. Spenor, center lane to the far side in the center. Heikkilä shot. Bounced off the legs there. Salakangas now Roila. It's going to be a hit in for the Jaguars. Janols and Borglund. Janols now with the ball behind the goal. He was looking to get a pass inside the crease. Borglund trying to box out Hiltunen. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Borglund on the rebound. Needing a man to pass to. He'll send it down the boards to Schernestam. Far side goes Spenor. Salakangas with a heavy press, forcing the quick pass by Spenor, sailing out of bounds. Fort Worth in and Janols to Spenor. Dita Salakangas still pursuing, able to get a stick on it. It'll sail out of bounds and be another Fort Worth Jaguars hit in. Close side, Schernestam. Cross court, stolen by Salakangas to his brother Titus. Tom Fuchter now on the close wing. Saved by Hampus Badin. That's the first shot on goal by the Minnesota Growlers that wasn't a goal. Only 3 this entire match. And that one saved by Hampus Badin. Samuels back to Stussy. Down to Lundblad. Less than 8 minutes remaining in the first period. Angersteig's shot just wide left out of bounds. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Etu Vanjonpa to Marcus Lane. Back to Vanjonpa. Down to line again. He's got Rantala close wing. Donskoy coming in center for support. Rantala looking across to Jonas Donskoy, but the pass sailing a little bit wide. Stussy able to get there and pass it to Lundblad off the backboards. Donskoy and Fuchter still staying up around three-quarter court here. Far side to Leander Stussy. Cross court finds Angersteig. Now steadily within Minnesota territory. Leander Stussy. The pass to Samuels. Cross-court pass finds Angersteig. He's got Fortenheim in the crease. He'll try it himself. But Fortenheim off the rebound, able to put one away. Fort Worth putting one away here with 7 minutes, 9 seconds remaining in the first period. It was Angersteig on the close wing. Pasi Arvinen was unable to grab the rebound before Arvid Fortenheim was able to put a stick on it between Angersteig and Fortenheim. That offensive successful here. And now your score with 7:09 remaining in the first period. It's Minnesota Growlers 2, Fort Worth Jaguars 3. Pasi Arvinen taking a quick pause on his own bench before the teams resume play. It's still a matter of back and forth between these teams. If one team is able to extend to a 2-goal lead, that'll make things a bit more interesting. But for now, the momentum has been so tightly contested, so back and forth, that it seems impossible for either team to come away with a runaway game here. And now Pasi Arvinen back in the goalkeeping area. Recovery on the face-off by Fort Worth. Cernestam, close side, Spinor, back over to Cernestam. 7 minutes remain in the first period. Off the boards, finds Janols to spin around Letanimi. A spin back, looking for a man to pass to a fine Spinor at the point. Cernestam coming up in center, leaving space on the far wing for Janols. Losing control, Emily Biernen now driving down. Unable to get the angle on Spinor. Spinor trying to box him down. That's going to draw a free hit for Minnesota. They've already taken it. The shot attempt by Etuletanimi deflected off the body of Philip Borglund, number 93. It's going to be another hit in for the Minnesota Growlers. Etuletanimi with support there from Mothall. Comes to Korhonen. Järninen coming in center. He'll take the ball. Spin back around. Go back off there and pass to Mile Marthala. Emily Biernen still in center lane. He'll have the Letanimis in motion, but pass behind himself to Mothall. Tuukka Korhonen now. Not a lot of aggression yet from the Fort Worth defense, but Borglund still able to come away with the steal. Looking for Roope Heikkilä. Korhonen just barely able to chip it away, but Heikkilä still with the ball, deflected off the body of Mothall. Tuukka Korhonen trying to break it out to the wing. Heikkilä losing a stick, and actually gives Cernestam an advantage in getting possession. Stopped on by Eetu Letanimi. He'll send it to Juuso Letanimi, who sends it to the Minnesota Growlers bench. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit-in. Roope Heikkilä and Alexander Janols. Heikkilä with the sweep pass to Spinor, down close on the wing in center lane, deflected off the body of Lehtinen. He'll have to take a few bounces. Looks like that one hit him hard. Cernestam in center finds Janols to the wing. Spinor. Cross court deflected by Tom Fuchter. Janols kicking it to the close wing. Janols goes to Lindblad. Spinor, cross court to Fortenheim. Lindblad, back to Fortenheim. Angersteig, back to Lindblad at the point. Fort Worth has done a good job these past few minutes of making their lead a little bit more stable here against the Growlers, not allowing as many offensive looks. Strucy, close side, Angersteig. He'll look cross court, deflected by Julius Salakangas. Far side, Tita Salakangas. Back down in Minnesota territory, Julius Salakangas looking for a man. He'll go to Tuukka Hiltunen on the close wing. Hiltunen to Salakangas, back to Hiltunen, skillful play, looking at Tom Fuchter, unable to get the shot off at the very end. What would have been a four-pass offensive look, stopped up at the last second. But still, Julius Salakangas with possession here. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first period. The Jaguars still with a narrow 1-goal lead. Marcus Lane to Valtteri Rantala. In the center, Jonas Donskoi, shot just high out of bounds. It'll be a hit in here for the Jaguars. He'll take it from the far corner, Cernestam with the pass to Spinor. Close side, Borglund. Back to Spinor. Cernestam goes to Heikkilä. Donskoi from behind. Valtteri Rantala able to kick that pass away. It goes to Marcus Lane. Lane now in the close wing. He's got Vagnopal far side. Rantala in center. Shipped away there off defense from Alexander Jenols, number 15. He's certainly a player to watch. He and Alexander Spinor, number 55 of the Jaguars, are dangerous when they're on a line together because both of them are such powerful shooters, especially from half-court range on the wings. They love powerful slap shots. They've been interchangeably captains of this Fort Worth squad throughout the season as well. Both of them phenomenal additions that the Jaguars brought in over the offseason, and they've helped them keep the playoff hopes alive so far. Delayed penalty call here. Pasi Arvinen going to clear. Valtteri Rantala being backed off. He'll pass as Malthaler comes on the court for 6-on-5 play. Janols takes possession, and the penalty takes effect. It's for repeated offenses there. It'll be number 55, Alexander Spinor, coming to the penalty box here. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first period, and now the Minnesota Growlers going to enter power play, giving them a chance to equalize here and cut down the Jaguars' narrow one-goal lead. Both teams returning to the court. It'll be Julius Salakangas at half court. Set to take it here for the Minnesota Growlers power play offense. No pass to Tita Salakangas. Already speeding up the pace here. Ilmari Lehtinen on the close side. Working with Hiltunen. Hiltunen losing some control there. Lundblad coming up to meet him. Ilmari Lehtinen still pausing. To go out to the top to Julius Salakangas. Far side, Tita Salakangas. Lehtinen looking for a shot attempt. Unable to find one off the defense of Arvid Samuels. We'll go to Hiltunen. Looking across, Tita Salakangas to Bjerninen, unable to get the shot off. Samuels able to stop it in its tracks. Fornheim sending the ball down deep. Pasi Arvinen kicks it to his man Salakangas, giving Fort Worth time for substitutions. Salakangas to Hiltunen. Julius Salakangas at the point. Bjerninen on the far wing, chipped away there by Rupa Heikkilä. Salakangas with a spin around, able to get the angle, driving down, coming in close. He'll take it himself. The Minnesota Growlers convert on the power play goal. Heikkilä had deflected that pass, but Salakangas with a spin around was able to break away, and given Heikkilä's absence from the defense, it left a perfect wing open for Julius Salakangas to drive the ball down and come away with the score. And off of that Salakangas goal, 2 minutes, 9 seconds left. The penalty is over, and the game now tied. Your score, Minnesota Growlers 3, Fort Worth Jaguars 3. Recovery on the face-off by Fort Worth. Malthaler with heavy pursuit along with Bjerninen in the center. Janols behind himself. Schernestam down to Heikkilä. Looking across, stopped up by Tuukka Korhonen inside the crease. Chipped up. Bjerninen trying to come away with it against the bigger Spinor. He'll lose a stick. It's going to be a foul against Bjerninen there. It'll be a free hit here for the Jaguars. Minute 52 remaining in the first period. Heikkilä and Janols. The pass to Schernestam down to Spinor. Close side. Far side, Heikkilä. Cross court deflected there by Eetu Lehtiniemi. He'll miss the pass to Malthaler. Janols upset at no call there. Tuukka Korhonen with a smile, bringing it in center lane. Bjerninen shooting from the hip. Hits the legs of a distracted Alexander Spinor. It's going to be a free hit here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Less than a minute and a half remaining, and they're already looking tired here at the end of the first period. Leander Stussy to Lundblad. Far side, Samuels. Salakangas coming up to meet him. Down to Lundblad. He'll find Samuels on the wing, goes to Angerstig. Behind the goal, Rupa Heikkilä broken up by Julius Salakangas. He's had Heikkilä's number all day. Powerful pass, deflected off the legs of Hiltunen. Samuels able to take it here for Fort Worth, but he'll lose control. Salakangas forcing the angle. Now it's Ilmari Lehtinen close side. Less than a minute left on the clock in the first period. J-Paul Roila, far side to Salakangas. Paul Roila taking his pause. Waiting for the right moment, will pass to Hiltunen. Coming in center lane behind himself, Auroila. Dita Salakangas with space on the wing. Back to Auroila. Salakangas driving down, looking into Hiltonen. One save, not two, as the Minnesota Growlers able to score on the rebound from Hampus Badin. The Minnesota Growlers able to take the lead here with 30 seconds left on the clock in the first period. It was Auroila at the point. He saw Dita Salakangas with space on the wing. And with a quick pass in, Hiltonen was able to convert. And off the Minnesota goal, 30 seconds left in the period. It's now Growlers 4, Jaguars 3. Korhonen going behind his own goal. He'll pass it far side. It's deflected by Heikkilä. Korhonen still able to come away with it. Sending it down the board, Spinord now. The pass to Janols, back to Spinord, shot wide out of bounds. 4 seconds left on the clock. And that was a Tuukka Hiltonen goal that set Minnesota up to head into this intermission with a narrow 1-goal lead over the Fort Worth Jaguars, finally coming away with some sustained momentum here in this matchup, which has certainly been a back-and-forth game so far. Deep pass, Auroila looking for Lehtinen. The ball barely falling before time expires. And with that, Floorball fans, we've hit the end of the first period of play between these two playoff contender teams. Your score at the end of one, Minnesota Growlers 4, Fort Worth Jaguars 3. We'll be back in just over 10 minutes with what's set to be a phenomenal second period of play between these two high-octane squads. And of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we bring you another exclusive NAFL player interview. Well, Floorball fans, after that intense period of play between the Growlers and the Jaguars, we're joined here by number 13, Julius Salakangas. Julius, how are you feeling after that period?
Feeling quite good. We played horrible against Jaguars last time, so now it's been very much better for us.
And now, obviously, you're facing off against a Fort Worth Jaguars team that has high playoff aspirations. They're trying to come away with a win today to clinch the playoff berth. How do you think that that motivation on their side has affected their play on the pitch?
I don't think that will affect too much because it's there are a low amount of teams, so it means there is a big chance that we are facing Jaguars in the playoffs also. So we are pretty much trying to do all we can and play as well as we can, even though we already secured our playoff spot.
And now with your team having clinched a playoff berth after Texas's victory earlier this morning, how has that affected the mindset of your team coming into these last games of the regular season?
It didn't affect at all. We are here to win and we do everything we can in every game to win the games.
Very well. Well, best of luck doing that today, Julius. Thank you so much for joining us. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 7.5 minutes with the second period of play between the Growlers and the Jaguars. Well, welcome back, Floorball fans of the NAFL. It's about time to head down to the court for the second period of play between the Growlers and the Jaguars. But first, we'd like to remind you about our sponsors. First of all, the Finnish Bistro, a beloved local gym offering a full-service coffee bar, authentic European cuisine, and a delightful bakery. Whether you're in the mood for a rich cup of coffee, a delectable pastry, or a hearty European meal, the Finnish Bistro has something to satisfy every palate. Located at 2264 Como Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota, we invite you to explore the delicious offerings at the Finnish Bistro. And, of course, our official clothing partner for the 2024 NAFL season is Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. And our official floorball partnership this season with Fat Pipe, bringing you the latest in floorball technology in beautiful Swiss media yellow. Every floorball you see on an NAFL court this season is Fat Pipe. Now, as we head down for the second period, it's been a back-and-forth game so far. What to look for is whether or not either team can come ahead with stamina or with adjustments, whether or not they're going to be able to come away to a larger lead than just one goal, which is what we've seen all this match, between having more effective lines and skill management, or if it's going to come through adjustment that they've made, seeing how each high-octane offense has operated in that first period. Mile Marthaler able to cover here around the goal line for the Minnesota Growlers. He hands it off to Jepa Roila. Both teams bringing out substitutions. Roila, far side to Hiltonen. Van Patten trying to spy in that passing lane. Will back off now to half court. Julius Alakangas, close side. Go back out to Roila at the point. Titas Alakangas down the line to Lamari Lehtinen. Lehtinen, shot attempt, sails wide right of Hampus Bedin. It goes to the far boards. Leander Stussy able to come away with it. Off the close boards, trying to find Furnaheim, but Salakangas able to get there first. Play is going to be stopped there. They're inspecting the ball. Looks like it was trampled underfoot there. With a new ball in play. It'll be Julius Salakangas taking the hit here. He'll pass to Jepa Roila. Back down to Salakangas. Minnesota slowing the pace of the game way down here. The ball chipped there by Van Patten is now Hiltonen with a pass to Lehtinen. Now to Salakangas. Looking across to Hiltonen. Hiltonen with 2 goals on the match so far has been a major performer, especially given that goal with 30 seconds remaining in the first period. To give the Minnesota Growlers the edge here against the Fort Worth Jaguars, certainly great. Not only for the score sheet, but also for the minds of their players as they headed into intermission. Van Patten going to the ground as Salakangas looking to capitalize. Partial substitutions here as now Salakangas going to back off. Jepa Roila will pass it off to Etu Vanjonpa, both in their second year of play for the Minnesota Growlers. They had high playoff hopes last season, but after a defeat in the semifinal match, they didn't make it to the Troy Cup final. But given the way Minnesota is playing this season, it very well could be the outcome this year that they make it to the final match as they've hit their stride in these last 2 weeks of the season. It was an unfortunate loss yesterday to the Fresno Force, currently the number 1 seed in the league, that allowed the Texas 39ers to jump back up to second. But now they're looking to come away with a statement victory here against the Fort Worth Jaguars, who are still seeking to lock in their playoff berth. Roila backing off a bit here. They'll try and send it across court. He'll find Vanjonpa. Vanjonpa trying to send it down. Goes around past Schernestem. Finds Spinor. Fort Worth now with possession. Schernestem working with Janels in center. Comes to Spinor. Down the line he comes to Rupa Heikkilä. Back to Spinor. Heikkilä spinning around, trying to create some space in Minnesota territory. Spinor from the wing, saved by Pasi Järvinen. Järvinen throwing down deep, looking for Tom Fuchter. Spinor with some contact, unable to stop the momentum. Fuchter still with possession. Hitting the boards right back out just as they're put back in. Tuukka Korhonen goes far side to Mile Marthaler. Both teams picking up the pace and the aggression of play up here. We've passed just over 3.5 minutes in the second period. Both teams still scoreless in the second. It'll be number 28, Mile Marthaler, set to take it. He'll go to Donskoy behind the goal. Deflected back around, Leander Stussy. Sending the ball down, but it finds its way to Tuukka Korhonen. Korhonen backing off a bit. Far side, Marthaler, cross court to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Back out to Korhonen. Far side, Björninen. He'll send it down, Juuso Lehtiniemi on the wing. Nearly had a clean open look, but Lundblad able to break it up. Still facing a 2-on-1 for possession here on the boards. Lehtiniemi gets it to Donskoi. Finally, that possession battle's going to end in a free hit for the Growlers. The pass to Björninen. Moving in traffic, going behind the goal. Still needing an out route. He'll find Marthaler. Off the boards, finds Donskoi on the wings. Chipped up, nearly in over the head of Hampus Bedin. Fort Worth with possession now. Samuels behind himself to Schernestam. Substitutions out for both squads. Is Fort Worth slowing things down here. Janols backing off a bit there, off a little bit of pressure from Tita Salakangis. He'll go back down to Schernestam. Far side, Spinor. In the center, looking for Janols to the wing. Heikkilä, cross court, Borglund. What a beautiful play by the Fort Worth Jaguars. Philip Borglund able to put one in from the wing and equalize again for the Jaguars. It was Spinoren in the center to Janols, to Heikkilä on the wing, cross-court pass to Borglund. Pasi Arvinen diving just a few seconds too late. And now Philip Borglund with another goal on the match, just under 15 minutes remaining in the second period. It's back to a tie ball game. Your score, Minnesota Growlers 4, Fort Worth Jaguars 4. After mopping off the court there in Pasi Arvinen's corner, we're ready for the face-off. Valtteri Rantala on Arvid Samuels. J-Paul Roila. Taking his pause will come close side to Eetu Väljönpää. Back out Roila. Creeping towards center court, he makes the pass to Fuchter on the wing. Rantala facing pressure from behind, sends the ball to the corner. Stussy on Fuchter. Able to get it down to Arvid Samuels. Samuels driving down now, close wing. He'll shoot himself, and it's kept by Pasi Arvinen. J-Paul Roila pausing behind his goal after the attempt there from the wing, saved by Pasi Arvinen. Maho Marthaler goes far side to Korhonen. Behind himself to Marthaler. Close side, Juuso Lehtiniemi. Back out to Marthaler. Björninen now on the wing. Just been to create some space against Angersteig. Minnesota not applying the pressure just yet, waiting for the right moment. Björninen will go to Marthaler now on the far wing. Off the boards, finds Donskoi. Gets around Stussy, moving in traffic, driving down. Juuso Lehtiniemi didn't think his man would be able to get the pass to him. He wasn't ready for the shot attempt. Lander Stussy now for Fort Worth. He'll pass to Arvid Furnaheim. Working with Lundblad. They have the Minnesota Growlers doing double time on the defense. Rupa Heikkilä, center court, deflected off the stick of Björninen and finds Juuso Lehtiniemi. He'll shoot from deep, sails wide left, out of bounds. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars ball. Schernestam goes to Spinor. He'll come back around to the center lane. Schernestam behind him. Spinor. Taking a pause, he goes back to Schernestam. No help in the center. He'll have to go cross court to Philip Borglund. Schernestam back down to Spinor. Cross court to Borglund once more. Shot goes off the legs there at Tuukka Hiltunen. After a deflection, it comes. Salakangas to J-Paul Roila. Lehtinen on the close wing to Tita Salakangas. He'll back off, trying to find Hiltunen in the center lane. It'll roll back to Julius Salakangas. Shot saved by Hampus Bedin. Salakangas to Lehtinen. Another save for Bedin. Janols, the pass to Heikkilä. Fort Worth looking to counter. Jennels on the wing, shoots and scores! The Fort Worth Jaguars taking the lead once more off of the Jennels shot from the wing. It was 2 saves by Hampus Bedin that set up the offensive. Heikkilä with the pass to Jennels. And after about half a second of positioning the ball for the shot attempt, he was able to put it past Pasi Järvinen. With that Jennels goal, 12:21 remaining in the second period. No longer a tie game. It's Growlers 4, Jaguars 5. Recovery by Fort Worth on the faceoff. Angersteig driving with some speed and aggression into Minnesota territory. The pass gets out to Lundblad at the point. He'll shoot from deep, deflected off the body of Alfred Rantala, staying in bounds. Samuels on Korhonen for the ball. Now sent out. It's going to be a Jaguars hit in. Arvid Samuels looking for a shot, goes on the outside of the net. Korhonen behind himself to Eetu Vanjonpää. Vanjonpää around half court. He'll pass behind himself. Korhonen far side. Rantala back to Korhonen. Down deep off the boards to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Lehtiniemi sent out and over. Substitutions coming in here for both squads. And off the quick attempt by Korhonen, the pass sailing wide around Marthaler. Heikkilä for Fort Worth, losing control of the ball behind himself. Donskoi, a spin around. He gets the ball to Bjernen, and powerful shot attempt out of bounds. It'll be a hit in here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Spinord set to take it in the far corner. He'll come to Borglund, back to Spinord. Close side, Jennels. Back to Schernestam. Heikkilä far side. Spin around, goes to Spinord, looking for a man, trying to find Heikkilä back across the crease, deflected there. Jonas Donskoi in traffic, able to hold on to it. He'll pass it down to Marthaler. Applause there from his Minnesota Growlers bench. Behind himself, Juuso Lehtiniemi, Emily Bjernen. Shot goes off the legs there of Jennels. 2-on-1 on the boards. Heikkilä able to come away with it for Fort Worth. He'll chip it behind himself to Jennels. He'll draw the foul. It's going to be a free hit for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Heikkilä sweep shot off the back legs of Korhonen. Borglund to Jennels, losing control of the sweep. Donskoi trying to recover. Player injury there on the court. Both squads going over to look at the injured player. It's Juuso Lehtiniemi being helped to his feet by team owner Juha Rovinen and Jonas Donskoi. His captain Yipao Roila discusses there with the other captain Alexander Jennels and referee Jani Schoren. Applause for Juuso Lehtiniemi as he's able to come off the court. Roila still discussing there with Jani Schoren. You've got to applaud the way he's looking out for his teammate there in Juuso Lehtiniemi. And now as play gets set to resume, it's going to be Julius Salakangas with a free hit for the Minnesota Growlers. Far side, Tuukka Hiltunen comes back down to Roila. 10.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Hiltunen in center, behind himself to Roila. Close side, Salakangas back to Roila. He's got Lehtinen. Gets the ball to Hiltunen. Heavy pressure from Lundblad. Stussy trying to chip the ball away. It stays in bounds off the backboard. Salakangas to Lehtinen. Pushed to the ground there by Stussy. No call through the legs of Lehtinen. Furnaheim losing control on the boards. Julius Salakangas going over. It's going to be a free hit here for the Minnesota Growlers. 10:06 left in the second. Now taking a quick second for Julius Salakangas. He's able to rock himself back up. Looks like he took a heavy hit to the knee there. Salakangas back up to his feet now. Still going to take time on the injury. It looks like he's going to try and perhaps stay on the court. Salakangas going to stay in after that heavy hit to his knee. Being a team player here for the Minnesota Growlers. Tita Salakangas. He'll take the ball, send it. Oh my goodness, what a goal off the free hit. Never could have seen that one coming. The Minnesota Growlers equalize. Tita Salakangas are taking it on the free hit from the close side. And it was chipped in from inside the crease after the ball sailed over the entirety of the defenders for the Fort Worth Jaguars. With that goal, 10:03 remaining in the second period. Your score now, Growlers 5, Jaguars 5. Ball sailing out of bounds. It's going to be a hit in here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Ball sent to the far wing, Spinord. He'll get the pass out to Schernestam. Close side, Rupa Heikkila. Gets it across. Alexander Spinord with a quick response for the Fort Worth Jaguars team. Spinord from the wing where he loves to strike. Schernestam had come down to Heikkila. The cross-court pass. Found Spinord. Got one around Pasi Arvinen, who also seemed to be a little bit slow getting to his feet. Looked like he may have had an injury there. Regardless, off the Spinord goal. 9:59 left in the second period, officially the second half of the match. No longer a tie game. Took only a few seconds for that. Minnesota Growlers 5, Fort Worth Jaguars 6. Marthaler, Tulane, Roila. Ball bouncing out of bounds. It's going to be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit-in. Arvid Samuels, close side. Back to Samuels. Lundblad. And Samuels still working the backcourt passing here for the Fort Worth Jaguars. He'll go across to Lander Stussy. Donskoy coming up to pressure there for Minnesota. This match has still been remarkably equal here in the second period between these two squads. Still a back-and-forth game. Neither team has had a lead greater than one goal at any point in today's matchup. And that's saying a lot for a Fort Worth Jaguars team who's coming in as an underdog in today's matchup, who lost yesterday to the then underdog Ohio Aviators and haven't been able to lock in a playoff position yet. The Jaguars have come out and played with determination as they still hunt for their role in the Troy Cup playoffs. Minnesota, of course, coming off of a grueling loss yesterday to the Fresno Force, 9-3. Arvid Fornheim here for the Jaguars. Pass far side to Lundblad. Samuels, close side. Minnesota's defense parked at the half-court line. Schernestam. He'll take time and pass to Borglund. Going to the ground there, Björninen on the counterattack. He puts one away. Another equalizer. Emily Björninen for Minnesota on the counterattack. Schernestam had passed to Spinord, who took a tumble. The quick pass found its way to Björninen, who looked Hampus Benin in the eyes as he sent one over the shoulder around him. And with that, Emily Björninen goal. 8 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the second period. It's back to a tie game. Your score, Minnesota 6, Fort Worth 6. And with Pasi Arvinen back to the goal. Set for the face-off. It's Jan Olds on Salakangas. Battle of the big men in the center. Ball chipped up, finds its way down Roila. Minnesota recovery there on the faceoff. Chipped up in the air by Jennels. Captain on the far side is now Fort Worth coming away with it on a counter. Sturnestam, the pass to Heikkilä. The shot saved by Pasi Järvinen. 3, 4, 5, 6 shot attempts. All saved by Järvinen. Looks like he took a hard hit to the side there, and Heikkilä also went to the ground. Referees having to sort things out there in the corner. J-Paul Roila talking there with Philip Borglund, number 93, the Jaguars. Pasi Järvinen still appearing to be injured, but he's able to get to his feet. The goal area going to be wiped off there after a series of heavy contacts between the Growlers and the Jaguars on that fast break by Rupa Heikkilä. Roila once again discussing with the referee there what had happened. He's certainly a zealous advocate for his team. Still wiping off the goal here and still discussing as we get ready to come back in. 7 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the second period. It's a tie ball game that's only set to get more intense here over time as both teams realize they can't come away to a breakaway lead. It's been remarkably even so far between two teams who both want to vie for a spot in the Troy Cup playoffs. Minnesota, of course, has clinched their playoff berth as they look ahead now to playoffs in the Troy Cup finals. Fort Worth, with a win today, could clinch their playoff berth and eliminate the Ohio Aviators from playoff contention. Salakangas behind himself. Roila. Kicked away by Heikkilä. Roila to the ground. You're going to say the knee was down. It's a free hit here for the Minnesota Growlers. Hiltunen to Salakangas. Salakangas on the wing. Back to Roila at the point. Deep to Salakangas on the close side. Cross court. Hits Julius Salakangas. Heikkilä trying to come away with it. He gets the ball to Jennels. The shot is good. My goodness, what a match this is. Alexander Jennels, another goal for his Jaguars squad. Julius Salakangas hadn't anticipated the pass. Heikkilä saw it. He was able to spy the passing lane, send the ball behind himself. He found Jennels. And now with 7 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, Alexander Jennels putting a goal away and giving the Jaguars a lead. Your score, Minnesota 6, Fort Worth 7. J-Paul Roila still discussing now with referee Yanni Shorin on the close side. It's the hold up here for the face-off. Roila still talking there. Now Roila passes the ball off. Ahead to Valtteri Rantala as the Minnesota Growlers get set for the face-off against the Jaguars. Arvid Samuels for Fort Worth. Recovery on the face-off by Minnesota. Sails to the corner. Fornheim not going to pursue for the Jaguars. Etuvenjanpa on the close wing. Far side, Tuukka Korhonen. Cross-court pass. Etelätanimi was slow to get to his feet there. He wasn't able to field the pass. Lundblad over to Leander Stussy. 7 minutes remaining in the second period. Fornheim. Back to Lundblad. Samuels in center. Back to Lundblad. Far side, Stussy. Despite it being a back-and-forth matchup here in the second period, the Jaguars have outpaced the Growlers in scoring. We came in, Growlers 4-3. Right now, it's Jaguars 7-6. Minnesota looking to change that. Korhonen taking down the boards like dominoes there in the back corner. They'll have to be reset quickly. Tuukka Korhonen holding onto the ball. A pass ahead to Lehtiniemi. Lehtiniemi didn't realize the pass was coming to him. Angersteig just Samuels, just saved by Pasi Arvinen. Could have been a critical miscommunication there. Lehtiniemi was coming off, but Korhonen sent the pass over, not realizing that Lehtiniemi was subbing out. Angersteig and Samuels capitalized with a counterattack. Minnesota just barely hanging on thanks to Pasi Arvinen. Auroila behind his own goal. Delayed penalty call here on the high stick by Rupa Heikkilä on that chip by Auroila. 6-on-5 play here. We'll see if Bjerninen can do anything with it for Minnesota. The spin at great space against Borgland. Marthaler now in as the sixth man. Jeep Auroila. At the point, he passes close side, Tita Salakangis. Heikkilä with some press there. Still, the ball gets out to Julius Salakangis. Far side, Lehtinen. Ilmari Lehtinen, far side. Back out to Salakangis. 5 minutes remain in the second period. Minnesota going to use this delayed penalty as an opportunity to try and score here and equalize the match. Chipped out, it comes to Julius Salakangis at the point. Far side, Ilmari Lehtinen. Chipped away by Borgland. Penalty's going to come into effect. It was Rupa Heikkilä with a high stick violation around chest height on an Auroila ball. He'll come out to the penalty box, and now with 4:47 remaining in the second period, Minnesota going to have 2 minutes of power play. Heikkilä in the penalty box. The Growlers getting set. Hiltunen ready in the corner there for Minnesota. With the hit, they'll enter power play. 2 minutes for Minnesota to equalize here in 5-on-4. Tita Salakangis, close wing. Julius Salakangis. Far side to Ilmari Lehtinen. Down to Hiltunen. Back to Salakangis. Off the boards, Hiltunen again. Here go Lehtinen. Julius Salakangis looking across. Tuukka Hiltunen losing control. The ball's chipped all the way down by Arvid Samuels. He'll come off as a new line comes out for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Tita Salakangis trying to get around. Jan Ols unable to so far. Ball sent behind himself. Ilmari Lehtinen far side gets it to Julius Salakangis. Tita Salakangis working with Julius Salakangis. The ball goes to Hiltunen. Rolling back around. 1 minute left in power play here for the Minnesota Growlers. A few passing bumbles here for the Growlers. They haven't been able to get much offense going yet. The attempted pass for Ilmari Lehtinen deflected off the legs of Janols. Borgland pursuing it. Free hit for the Jaguars as Salakangis and Borgland both go to the ground on the boards. This match certainly getting intense, and the players are reflecting that in their styles. Now as the boards get reset, it's going to be Spanor. They go with the pass down to Jenols. Fort Worth on offense despite being a man down. Pasi Arvinen able to fall on the ball. Just over 30 seconds remaining in power play here for Minnesota. Julius Salakangis coming in, he'll take the ball. Down to Tita Salakangis. He'll come to the point. Far side, Lehtinen losing control of the ball behind himself. Spanor with aggression, able to get there, but Hiltunen comes away with an advantage play granted to the Growlers. Lehtinen, far wing to Tita Salakangis, back to Lehtinen. Just too crowded on that far side of the court. It'll find Hiltunen, shot attempt just wide left. 10 seconds in power play. Tita Salakangis, shot attempt deflected off the legs of Alexander Janols. Lehtinen to Hiltunen. Tita Salakangis shot saved by Hampus Bedin. Heikkilä is in. Power play is ended. Cernas down. Over to Heikkilä. Penalty call there as he goes to the ground. My goodness, this game is getting intense. Heikkilä back up to his feet after the contact there. It'll be number 13, Julius Salakangas, who will be coming out here to the penalty box off the contact. And now the Jaguars with an opportunity to trade blows after surviving the Minnesota power play. They have a chance to extend their lead to 2 goals for the first time this matchup. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left on the clock here in the second period. It's still Growlers 6, Jaguars 7. Rupa Heikkilä getting set to take the ball and change that. Minnesota set here. Rupa Heikkilä to take it. He passes Fornaheim to Jenols, back to Heikkilä. Looking for the shot early, goes off the body of Juuso Lehtiniemi. He'll kick it to Jenols. Yeah, Spinord, back to Jenols. Speeding up the passing here for Fort Worth. It'll come to Rupa Heikkilä. Jenols, back to Spinord. Fort Worth playing tight down here. Heikkilä, far pass off the boards, finds Spinord. Jonas Donskoi coming out to meet him. He'll cycle around to be the up man in the diamond box defense. Jenols to Heikkilä. Back to Jenols. Spinord with a shot. Goes on the outside of the net. Arvid Fornaheim able to recover. Spinord to Fornaheim. Heikkilä trying in from close range, but it goes on the outside of the goal again. Tuukka Korhonen able to send it down the line, but it doesn't go far before Jenols gets to it. Shot attempt by Heikkilä off the foot of his own man Fornaheim. Spinord now with a sweep. Sails wide right out of bounds. Under a minute remaining in power play here for the Fort Worth Jaguars, and it's going to be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Dita Salakangas sends it down the boards. Spinord trying to get possession back, but he'll just send it down once again to Salakangas. Deep ball to the corner, bounces out of bounds. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit in, 42 seconds remaining in power play. Spinord will come to Jenols. Back to Spinord on the wing in Minnesota territory. Minnesota's defense a bit spaced out here. They've got Van Patten in center for Fort Worth. Jenols to Van Patten. Out to the wing, pass deflected. Dita Salakangas sends it deep into Fort Worth territory. 1 minute remaining in the period, 20 seconds on the penalty. Jenols, Spinord to Heikkilä. Back across, Spinord, shot deflected by Marthaler. A critical field player, defensive play. Heikkilä facing pressure on the boards. 5 seconds left on the penalty. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars free hit. Spinord to Heikkilä. Ball rolling back behind himself as the penalty expires. Julius Salakangas is in. Cross-court pass deflected by him. His own man Marthaler's stick broken. The blade flying across the court. Ball still in bounds. On the backside, less than 30 seconds remaining. Free hit awarded here to the Minnesota Growlers. Both the Growlers and the Jaguars able to survive dueling power plays here in the third period to keep this the close match that it's been the entire time. Jonas Donskoi. The pass to Bjerreinen and saved by Badin. Gets out to Korhonen at half court. 20 seconds left. Again, Minnesota equalize to end the period. Korhonen to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Back to Korhonen. Down deep, chipped up by Samuels, out of bounds. It's going to be a Growlers hit in. Lehtiniemi looking for the shot from deep. It goes into the hands of Badin. And a player on the ground, Eti Lehtiniemi. It's going to be a penalty call as well. Referee Yanni Shorin trying to stop Donskoi and Stussy from chirping on the far side. Pasi Arvinen chirping from his own bench in support of his teammate currently injured on the court there. Etaletanimi able to get back up to his own feet, helped up by team owner Juha Rovinen. Looks like he took a hard hit to the neck. 2 seconds left on the clock as Letanimi walks off the court. That hit certainly not doing anything to help the tensions down on the court between these two teams that have already been flaring. We've seen that with the traded penalties. The Fort Worth Jaguars, of course, have had, I believe, the most penalties of any team this season. And Minnesota as well coming out here with a few. Captains discussing there, Al Roila and Jan Olds, as the referees discuss behind them. Johnny Shorin coming over to talk now with Jan Olds and Al Roila. It's number 17, Leander Stussy, sitting behind them in the penalty box. Johnny Shorin still discussing with the captains there. Looks like he's talking about the different penalty options. They'll send the captains away. It'll be a 2-minute penalty for Leander Stussy. Rupa Heikkilä still talking in center court there with Juha Roila. And now Spinoord with the hit down to end the period. What an intense period of play that was. The Jaguars able to outscore the Growlers and come away to a narrow 1-goal lead. Your score at the end of 2, Minnesota 6, Fort Worth 7. Floorball fans, the third period here live from the DECC Arena in Duluth, Minnesota is not going to be one to miss. We'll be back in just over 10 minutes with that. And of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we bring you another exclusive NAFL player interview. Well, Floorball fans, after that intense period of play between the Jaguars and the Growlers, we're joined here by number 93, Philip Borglund of the Fort Worth Jaguars. Philip, how are you feeling after that second period?
I'm feeling great. I mean, they are angry, we're not. We just have to play our game. We win this game.
Now, obviously, down on the court, we've seen a lot of tension between both teams, right? We noticed the intensity from up here, right? We're seeing it in the physicality on the court. What's your comment on that? What have you noticed from the pitch?
I mean, it's fun to play football, but it's high intensity, high aggressivity, but some things have to change. We can't hurt each other. But it's fun.
And Philip, as you head into the third period, what are you personally going to try and do to help your team maintain the lead and come away with a win here against the Growlers?
Keep doing the hard work that we do every shift, and I'm sure we will win this game.
Well, Philip, best of luck in the third period. Thank you so much for joining us. And Floorball fans, stay tuned. We'll have an electric conclusion to the Minnesota Growlers and Fort Worth Jaguars in just a few minutes.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back, Floorball fans, as we get set to head back down to the court for the third period of play between the Growlers and the Jaguars. First, we'd like to remind you about our sponsors. First of all, the Finnish Bistro. It's a beloved local gem offering a full-service coffee bar, authentic European cuisine, and a delightful bakery. Whether you're in the mood for a rich cup of coffee, a delectable pastry, or a hearty European meal, the Finnish Bistro has something to satisfy every palate. Located at 2264 Como Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota, we invite you to explore the delicious offerings at the Finnish Bistro. And of course, our official clothing partner for the 2024 season is Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. And our official floorball partnership for the 2024 season is with Fat Pipe, bringing you the latest in floorball technology and beautiful Swiss media yellow. Every floorball you see on an NAFL court this season is Fat Pipe. And a reminder, NAFL fans, if you're curious about the statistics to this or any other NAFL game, past, present, or future, you can go online to view them at sportninja.com or download the Sport Ninja app from the App Store. Now currently, Minnesota in power play after a Leander Stussy penalty to close out the second period off some late contact there against Eetu Lehtiniemi. This has been a back-and-forth game, and it's starting to reflect itself in the pressure and tension coming from the court. Both teams certainly getting fired up about this matchup. We're seeing a lot more physicality in that second period, a lot more penalties, and that has the chance to affect the topography of the match. The Growlers coming into this period being outscored in the second, down by 1 goal, but neither team has had more than a 1-goal lead this entire time. The Jaguars currently on top, but now with the Growlers still with 1 minute of power play remaining, have an opportunity to equalize and set themselves up for a come-from-behind win here in the third. Tita Saunakangas coming around for the sweep. He'll shoot. It's deflected by Rupa Heikkila. Hiltonen with Saunakangas. Another sweep attempt. Another ball deflected by Rupa Heikkila. Julia Saunakangas. Now to Tita Saunakangas. On the wing, it's Ilmari Lehtinen. You'll find Hiltonen towards the crease. 30 seconds left in power play. Emily Bierinen gets it to Tita Saunakangas. Deflected by Rupa Heikkila. He's been a superstar here in the power play defense for Fort Worth. Lehtinen on the wing. 15 seconds remain in power play. Cross court. Bierinen, Julia Saunakangas. Ball deflected again by Rupa Heikkila. Now Tita Saunakangas. 10 seconds on the penalty. That shot going into the hands of Hampus Badin. Tita Saunakangas working the angle. Leander Stussy back in. Both teams at full strength now. Fort Worth surviving the power play. Minnesota's going to have to work just that much harder to equalize here and try and force overtime or come away with a victory. Ilmari Lehtinen passes off to Saunakangas. Julia Saunakangas working the far wing, driving down deep. The pass missing Bierinen just by a little bit. He'll get ready to come off here. New line coming out for the Growlers. Close side, Julia Saunakangas. He'll pass it off to Ipao Roila as Eetu Vanjonpa comes in. Vanjonpa far side, back to Roila. Fuchter in center, opening up space on the wing. The ball going around Eetu Lehtiniemi. Valtteri Rantala still pursuing it. He has support from Fuchter. Play's going to be stopped there as the ball was trampled underfoot. New lines coming out again here. This time for both squads. It'll be a face-off in the corner. Lundblad and Marthaler. Recovery by Marthaler. Getting pushed nearly over the boards. Donskoy coming from behind, trying to support Jonas Donskoy. Gets it far side. Emily Bierinen losing control in the sweep shot attempt. Goes to Arvid Forneheim. Forneheim driving down with speed. Forced behind the Minnesota goal. Deflected off the body of Bierinen. Forneheim and Lehtiniemi, some heavy contact advantage granted to the Growlers. Bierinen to Donskoy, just saved by Hampus Badin. Able to save himself on the sprawl there. Stussy going to the court. Lehtiniemi sending the ball down deep to Bierinen against Samuels. Back down to Juuso Lehtiniemi. Comes to Mile Marthaler. Close side. Go past to Saunakangas as new lines out for both squads. The steal there by Spinord. He'll go cross court. Schernestam. Alexander Spinord. Taking his pause. Will go in the center. Janels to the wing. Borglund back to Janels. Double team pressure forces the pass back to Spinord in Fort Worth territory. Schernestam, far side. Back to Spinord. The steal there. Dietrich Salakangis able to get to it. He'll take a shot attempt. Sails high out of bounds. Hits the photographer on the hand. It's going to be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit-in. Both teams still scoreless to this point in the third period. Fort Worth maintaining their narrow one-goal lead. But, of course, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where absolutely anything can happen. Both of these teams have demonstrated today not just how competitive they are, but truly how evenly matched they are. It's certainly a different story compared to the last time these two teams met in the 2024 season, whenever Fort Worth came away with a 10-3 victory over the Growlers. Heikkilä, pass sails wide around Spinord. Borglund losing control. Salakangis on the counter. The pass looking for Lehtinen. Taken by Schernestam to the far corner. Janels gets it around Lehtinen to Alexander Spinord. 15 minutes remain in the third period. Leander Stussy coming around from behind his own goal. He'll pass to Lundblad. Leander Stussy back to Lundblad. Fornaheim and Lundblad still working together in the backcourt passing. Fort Worth slowing down the pace a lot here. Not a lot of pressure here from the Minnesota defense yet. Angerstedt backing off a bit here. Fuchter forcing the pass to Stussy. Lundblad now facing some pressure from Tom Fuchter. Samuels coming up to support. Arvid Samuels, far side, goes off the boards, finds Fornaheim. Back out to Lundblad at the point. Cross court to Leander Stussy. He'll lose a little bit of control. Letri Lehtinen able to force some pressure there. Still Fort Worth with possession. Fornaheim was looking for Samuels, chipped it out of bounds off the body of his own man. It'll be a Minnesota Growlers hit in. Juuso Lehtinen wasting no time with the pass to Tuukka Korhonen. Backing off a bit there. He'll pass behind himself to Lehtinen. He's got Marthaler behind him. Minnesota doing a great job of cycling their players here on the perimeter passing. Bjerninen. Now to Korhonen. Far side to Donskoy. Back out to Korhonen. Marthaler. Back out Korhonen. Far side Lehtinen. Fornaheim with the pressure. Able to create a steal opportunity for Spinord. He'll pass it back to Stussy. Alexander Spinord now with the ball looking inbound for this Jaguars team. They've held on to their one-goal lead for 6.5 minutes so far this third period. Schernestam to Borglund. Back to Schernestam. Spinord now with a bit of space. Comes to Borglund on the wing. Spinord backing off. Now again to Borglund. Cross-court pass deep. Finds Roope Heikkilä. Trying to get the angle around Lehtinen. Chipped up in the air and out of bounds by Tuukka Korhonen. It'll be a hit in for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Heikkilä and Janels set to take it. Roope Heikkilä down the line. Spinord finds Janels by the crease. Chipped away there by Tuukka Korhonen. Another shot attempt is good. My goodness, what a sneaky shot that was. The Fort Worth Jaguars, the first to strike in the third period. And they'll come away with the first two-goal lead of any team this matchup. Roope Heikkilä from the wing, like a magician, sent it past Pasi Arvin and screened by his own players there. 12 minutes, 46 seconds remain in the third period. Off the Roope Heikkilä goal. It's now Minnesota Growlers 6, Fort Worth Jaguars 8. Roope Heikkilä discussing there with referee Yanni Shorin. With that play ready to resume, recovery on the faceoff by the Minnesota Growlers. Iipa Auroila goes far side. Julius Salakangis back to Auroila. He's got Hiltonen close wing. Angerstedt releasing from the zone to add some pressure. Hiltonen in the center lane. Passes back to Auroila. Far side Salakangis. He'll come down on the wing. Telemari Lehtinen Facing pressure in traffic, Angerstieg able to wrest the ball away, but Julius Alakangas ultimately coming away with it, the pass far side. Titus Alakangas, shot attempt goes off the body of Arvid Samuels. Still Hiltonen, almost able to get a shot attempt off. Not yet, he'll pass to Auroila. Minnesota turning up the pressure here. Titus Alakangas to Auroila, deflected off the legs of Leander Stussy. But still, Titus Alakangas making a question of possession. He'll draw the foul. It's going to be a Minnesota Growlers ball. Julius Alakangas, far side, Auroila. Titus Alakangas to Auroila again. Back Titus Alakangas. In the center, Hiltonen, pass attempt deflected by Samuels. Angerstieg unable to break it down to Fornheim. Still Samuels with possession, sends it to Lundblad as Minnesota retreats to make substitutions. Leander Stussy on the close wing. Now Spinor. In the center to Jennels, far wing, Heikkila, saved by Järvinen. Emily Bjerninen, cross court to Tuukka Korhonen. Getting backed up there by Heikkila. Korhonen looking for a man to pass to. He'll try and find Juuso Lehtiniemi on the wing. He wasn't expecting that pass. Schernestam able to come away with it. Deflected out of bounds off the foot of Jonas Donskoy. 11:08 remaining in the third period. Fort Worth still with a lead that they've extended here, and they don't look to be letting up on the pressure just yet against the Growlers. Deep pass attempt intended for Heikkila, stolen by Korhonen. Cross-court pass taken back by Borglund. To Jennels, the shot deflected off the body of Mothaler. Heikkila losing sight of the ball. It's going to draw a free hit call. It'll be Fort Worth ball there from the far wing. Heikkila looking across, deflected by Jonas Donskoy. Donskoy with phenomenal field player defense there, but Heikkila still able to come away with it. No, he won't. Donskoy able to chip it away. Mothaler now trying to drive down into Fort Worth territory, but Portland comes away with it. Goes far side to Schernestam. As Fort Worth looks to reset for another offensive drive. Minnesota bringing out substitutions. Jennels at center court, trying to capitalize. Elmari Lehtinen not going to allow him to have the angle. He'll be forced instead to the backboards. Trying to get it to Schernestam. The shot sailing high. He had the look. Pasi Järvinen down on his back. It looks like he's taking a beating today. Still able to get back up. They're going to take a quick break here for Pasi Järvinen. Looks like he's been favoring his leg all game. Not sure if that's a pre-existing injury or if it's happened today here against the Growlers. And currently mopping up the space where Pasi Järvinen had went to the ground as he clutches his left hip behind. And now with the goalkeeper area cleaned, Pasi Järvinen back and ready to go. It's going to be a Minnesota ball in the close corner. Auroila to Salakangas. Just over 10 minutes remain in the third period here. Minnesota with 2 goals to go to equalize, 3 to come away with the lead, and that's if they can keep the Jaguars offense at bay. Certainly a far closer matchup than the last time these two teams met. The Jaguars coming into today as an underdog team in the playoff rankings, but Minnesota, while playing good, has still allowed Fort Worth to derail their passing offense that traditionally works so well against NAFL defenses. Titus Salakangas, close side. Spinning around, chipped away there by Stussy. Angerstieg able to come away with it on the close wing. He doesn't have a man to pass to yet. Auroila sending him out of bounds. He'll come away with the ball. Jeep Auroila leading from the front there for the Growlers defense. Julius Salakangas. Auroila, far side, Titus Salakangas. Cross-court pass with speed to Hiltonen. Comes off the boards, he's still got it. Behind himself, Auroila now on the wing. Lehtinen, a spin, will he shoot? Still looking for an angle, unable to find it. A look across, a rebound attempt by Hiltonen on the pass from Lehtinen, sailing wide. Stussy losing some control, but he's able to pass it out. Arvid Samuels driving down close wing, won't get the angle around Auroila or Lehtinen for that matter. The ball going into open waters in center court. Titus Salakangas with a spin around to preserve it. Comes to Jeep Auroila, less than 9 minutes remaining in the third period. Tuukka Korhonen with the pass to Mothaler as Minnesota looks to slow things down a bit. Juuso Lehtiniemi far side driving down, stopped up in 3-on-1. He's still able to make a vie for the ball. Spinord finally able to come away with it with speed. The pass to Borglund on the close wing. Chipped away by Eetu Lehtiniemi. Cross, he was looking for Bjernen and stolen by Janols. To Spinord, shot wide right off the backboards. Juuso Lehtiniemi able to get there first. Is now Fort Worth going to retreat to their own territory. Bjernen on the close wing. Korhonen. Back over to Bjernen. Looking for the sweep. He'll pass behind himself. Mile Mothaler. Instead, that pass broken up by Philip Borglund of the Jaguars. Borglund driving down the shot just wide right. Staying in bounds off the boards. Heikkilä able to get around Lehtiniemi, but Eetu Lehtiniemi. Is there a penalty call? Is Eetu Lehtiniemi goes to the ground against Rupa Heikkilä. Pasi Järvinen, goalkeeper, trying to break up some contact there between both teams. Off the push, it's going to be another Heikkilä penalty. 8 minutes left in the third period as he'll come off the court. Rupa Heikkilä coming out to the penalty box. It's going to give the Minnesota Growlers an opportunity in power play to start chipping away at the Jaguars' 2-goal lead as Heikkilä will come out for 2 minutes. Now Minnesota on the court, looking ready to resume play. It'll be Salakangas set to start them off here. This game has certainly started off and continued with a lot of penalties, a lot of physicality, a lot of aggression. We're seeing that reflected here with that pivotal Heikkilä penalty. If Minnesota can use this as an opportunity to create a comeback attempt, that'll certainly be one of the turning points of the match. Julius Salakangas back to Lehtinen. Far side, Tiitta Salakangas puts it away early. It only took 20 seconds of power play for the Minnesota Growlers to put themselves back on the board for the first time in the third period. Salakangas went to Lehtinen the cross-court pass, found Tiitta Salakangas. He took it so quick, Hampus Badin didn't have time to react. And off of that Tiitta Salakangas goal, the Growlers making it a one-score game again. 7:40 remaining in the third period. Back to 5-on-5. Your score, Minnesota Growlers 7, Fort Worth Jaguars 8. Tuukka Korhonen, close wing, cross-court, finds Bjernen. Getting the angle around. Deflected away there. Borglund trying to find Janols. Neither team with clear possession yet as Donskoy nearly came away with the steal, but Janols driving down. Can he get it and tapped off? No, he can't. He'll try and pass to Shernistam, but it's chipped away by the Growlers. Now close wing. Jonas Donskoy, cross-court, finds Bjernen, and the shot just deflected. It'll be a hit in here for the Minnesota Growlers. Gaining a lot of momentum here. The crowd's cheering for the Jaguars on defense here. Shernistam deflecting that shot attempt with his body. 7 minutes remain in the third period. Only one goal to go here for the Minnesota Growlers. Lander Stussy with the pass to Arvid Forneheim. Stussy back to Lundblad. Back down to Stussy. Far side, Arvid Samuels to Forneheim. He'll spin around. Pass again. Lundblad to Stussy. Angersteig on the close wing. The spin around facing double team pressure there with the Bjernen in support, but still Fort Worth able to maintain possession. Less than 6.5 minutes remaining. Lehtinen coming onto the court, adding to the press here. Lander Stussy, close wing, looking for a man to pass to. Stolen there by Ilmari Lehtinen. Ilmari Lehtinen pass deflected there. Arvid Samuels on the counter for Fort Worth. Saved by Pasi Järvinen. Every save for Järvinen is critical now at this point as the Growlers look to keep this game within one goal and maintain their comeback hopes. J-Paul Roila to Julius Salakangas. In center lane, the pass to Tiitta Salakangas. Down to Lehtinen. Lehtinen again on the close wing. Down to Hiltunen. Backing off a bit there from Borglund. Borglund able to chip the ball. They'll pass it down to Rupa Heikkilä, driving down across to Jennels, just wide right. Pasi Arvinen unable to fall on the ball, but Julius Salakangas able to come away with it. The pass to Hiltunen. Jennels boxing him out from the pass. Advantage granted there. Spinord, he'll spin around. He'll pass to Borglund on the close wing. Jennels, far side. Off the backboards to Spinord. Salakangas going to pursue a full court press here. Björninen chips the ball to the boards, able to come away with it on the far wing. The spin around, he doesn't have a man to pass to, and after some pressure from Schernestam, the ball going wide, but it'll draw a free hit here for the Growlers. Tuukka Korhonen set to take it. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Björninen will go with the pass to Letanimi. Shot from right. Sails out of bounds. It'll be a hit in here for the Fort Worth Jaguars with 5:04 left in the third. Fort Worth holding on to that narrow 1-goal lead as Minnesota turns up the heat live from Duluth. Samuels to Lundblad. Leander Stussy. Ball chipped up and out of bounds there by Eetu Letanimi. Hit in again here for Fort Worth. Stussy, Lundblad far side to Samuels. Björninen, look at that speed on the wing as he came up for defense. Björninen keeping the full court press alive here for the Growlers. Lundblad losing a little bit of control, still able to get the pass off to Samuels. Samuels driving down, now in Minnesota territory, off the boards, finds Fornheim, back to Samuels. They'll go to Lundblad. Now Leander Stussy, back to Lundblad. Backing off a bit, Björninen going to pursue. He's got support close side, comes into the center lane, Juuso Letanimi. Cross court to Björninen. Down to Eetu Letanimi. Minnesota looking to create an offensive opportunity here. Korhonen behind himself to Julius Salakangas. Salakangas backing off a bit here. 4 minutes remaining. Auroila now at the point. Minnesota 1 goal to go to equalize. Can they complete the comeback attempt as they look to score their first win in their home state after the loss yesterday to Fresno? Meanwhile, the Jaguars looking to clinch a playoff spot with a victory today against the Minnesota Growlers. A close call there on 2 rebound attempts. Minnesota still with possession. Salakanga's shot is good to equalize. The bench clears there. Minnesota with a critical goal. Julius Salakangas coming away there for the Minnesota Growlers with a beautiful shot to equalize. Salakangas took the ball on the close wing. He had a spin around to the center lane, got a sweep shot around Hampus Badin. And Julius Salakangas with a clutch goal here for the Growlers squad. 3:33 to go in the third. It's now a tie ball game. Again, Minnesota successfully neutralizing the 2-goal Jaguars lead earlier this period. It's Minnesota 8, Jaguars 8. Tuukka Korhonen here. The pass to Marthaler. It'll be interesting to see here whether Minnesota tries to press the issue and come away with another goal to win, but risk opening themselves up for a Fort Worth counterattack, or if they'll be more defensive with the ball and try and ride it out to overtime. A reminder that if neither team is able to score here before the end of regulation, we'll move to a 5-minute sudden death overtime. If neither team is able to score in overtime, then we'll go to a 5-round penalty shootout. Minnesota's second win of the season against the Ohio Aviators came from that exact scenario, a penalty shootout victory. So Minnesota is no stranger to having to close at the end of a match and deal with the stamina issues that overtime brings. Korhonen close wing. Off the boards, looking for Donskoy. Chipped away by Jennels, far side, Rupa Heikkilä. Cross court, Borglund losing control of the ball. He'll go to his knees. Juuso Letanimi with the ball for Minnesota. Unable to get around Spinord. Spinord able to get the ball out to Schernestam. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. At the point, Spinord and Borglund. Behind himself to Schernestam. Far side, Spinord. Cross court to Borglund. Shot attempt just wide right and out of bounds. It'll be a Minnesota ball. Every one of these traded blows between the Growlers and the Jaguars is increasingly critical given how tightly competitive of a matchup this has been today. Fort Worth, coming into today as an underdog in the standings, has made this such an impressive show of their skill and talent and why they believe they deserve a spot in the Troy Cup playoffs. The steal by Fornaheim. His shot saved by Pasi Arvinen. Now Roila. They go far side to Julius Salakangas. Minute 45 on the clock. Now Roila back to Salakangas. Behind himself, Roila far side, deep to Salakangas from the wing. Cross court, Hiltonen unable to connect the ball to the blade for a shot attempt. Minnesota still with possession in Fort Worth territory. That ball sailing back deep into Growlers land. It'll be Julius Salakangas fielding it. Salakangas far side to Tita Salakangas. Facing pressure from behind by Angersteig there. The ball forced to the corner. Lehtinen creeping behind the goal, was able to recover. Spin around, he needs a man to pass to. Deflected there off the stick of Lundblad. Still finds Tita Salakangas. Close call there with the ball towards the crease. Fornaheim now with an opportunity to counterattack. Officially in the last minute here of regulation. Free hit awarded to the Jaguars. Jennels goes with a pass to Schernestam. Fort Worth taking possession here in the last minute. We'll see what they can do with it. Heikkilä taking it back here towards the crease. Losing some control, the ball rolling there. Both teams losing time, less than 40 seconds on the clock. Rupa Heikkilä in center with Jennels, far side, goes to Schernestam. 30 seconds left. Fort Worth likely going to try and wait for the last possible second to make their drive. 20 seconds left on the clock. Heikkilä still in the crease, will come to Spinord. Spinord now setting the offense in motion. 15 seconds left. Schernestam, far side. Spinord stolen by Bjernanen. He'll lose sight of the ball behind himself. That could have been the game ender. Spinord, far side. It's good! 3.4 seconds on the clock. I don't believe it. The Fort Worth Jaguars with the most clutch goal that we've seen this entire season in the NAFL. It was Fort Worth creeping down deep by the goal. The shot from inside the crease, getting around Pasi Arvinen. With 3 seconds left on the clock, the Jaguars retake the lead here. Timeout going to be called. Your score with 3 seconds left on the clock. It's Minnesota Growlers 8, Fort Worth Jaguars 9. Barring a miracle here by the Minnesota Growlers, the Jaguars can come away with a win. And they can clinch a playoff berth here for the Troy Cup playoffs, meaning that every other game is now going to be a matter of seeding in the playoffs, not who is going to be in. Both teams returning to the court here for the last remaining seconds. It appears Pasi Arvinen, number 77, not going to come out. Instead, it's going to be an empty net, 6 men on the court. And with the ball on the court now, it'll be time for the final face-off. 3 seconds on the clock. Jennels telling Spinord to watch for the drive right side in the A gap here. No shot attempt, gets off. Wait, but before the buzzer, there was a free hit called. Referee Yanni Showrun's going to put 1 second back on the clock for Minnesota to have a free hit. Yanni Showrun calling for the Gurr floor to be wiped. For Minnesota, you've got to wonder what their strategy is going to be here with 1 second on the clock. They don't have much of an opportunity to screen after the first hit Every bit of strategy is going to have to come before the first touch on the ball, given the dearth of time that they're facing. It would take a miracle for Minnesota to equalize here, but we've seen stranger things before in the NAFL. This season, our most competitive effort, and it's certainly not ending here. Still finishing up mopping the Gur floor. Fort Worth getting set in defense. Julius Alakangas is going to be the point man. It's 2-on-2 inside the crease. Three-man front here for Fort Worth. Salakangas to the wing, deflected off the body of Yennels. Fort Worth with the upset victory, clinching a playoff berth. What a match this was, Floorball fans. Down to the last 3 seconds of the game, your final score here, live from DECC Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. Minnesota Growlers 8, Fort Worth Jaguars 9. As the crowd goes wild, the Fort Worth Jaguars have secured a playoff spot. Floorball fans, thank you for joining our broadcast. We have one more game of NAFL action at prime time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, between the Fresno Force and the Seattle Sockeyes. And of course, stay tuned on this broadcast as we end with an exclusive NAFL post-game interview. Well, Floorball fans, after that thrilling matchup and conclusion between the Growlers and the Jaguars, we're joined here by the man of the hour, number 55, Alexander Spinord. Alexander, how are you feeling after scoring that game-winning goal? Now, Alexander, obviously, you've clinched the playoff berth here with this victory. How does that feel after you fought hard this season with your Jaguar squad?
It's so good. We feel good.
Well, Alexander, congratulations on the big victory. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you in the shortcut playoffs. Floorball fans, thank you for joining our broadcast today. Don't worry, one more match of NAFL action as we bring you the Fresno Force versus the Seattle Sockeyes at 4 p.m. Until then, I've been your host, Tanner Davis.